it's me again. And I haven't been on for a few days because I started a new job. So I'm getting situated in the new job. What is the new job? I look at numbers all day. I look at numbers all day. I work in accounts payable as an accountant. So, like, I look at numbers all day. Because people like it when I do things with numbers, apparently. That's what people like. I'm looking for my dry erase marker so we can go over some numbers today. And I've been thinking, what is a good video to tide us over? Luckily, those bears are just full of material because they give me lots of material to work off of. So what I'm going to do today is go over the bear arguments. Not so much like MMTLP tackling the FUD, but this is like bear numbers. So kudos on you guys. Kudos to my viewers. When bears pump out, the dividend's going to be 1 to 3. And people say, cite your math. Where's your equations? Let me see how you get to 1 to 3. Right. Present your math, your findings. What bears have resorted to doing is citing the 2019 Wall Street Reporter article, John Berta, that we actually talked about a few times. And we've cited that. In this article, John Berta talks about, and I'll put it up here, the Repsol Alaska deal. In this particular interview, he uses price per barrel and price per acre. A lot of people think price per acre, and he's like, no, price per barrel. We'll cite the Repsol Alaska deal. So on the North Slope of Alaska, there's a couple of companies. One of them was Repsol, who was involved in this huge oil find. At the time, it was like the biggest discovery in 30 years, and it was 1.2 billion barrels. Repsol sold their half. They owned 49% stake in that. They sold their half, essentially. Half of that, which would be 600 million barrels of oil, for $3.50 per barrel in the ground. And John Berta cites it. He then goes on to saying if you're using these particular numbers, the oil is going to be very small. The amount's going to be very small. So we're going to go over these numbers. And I'm going to show you today that, it doesn't really make sense. My rebuttal to this is find me a sale with these numbers basing price per barrel. Even at price per acre, here's the math. Even at price per acre, which is what we're doing. See, there's some math. At price per acre, it's still not going to, it's, worst case, it's going to be close to 4. But it shows you that, okay, bears are just like doing what they can. They don't want to do math. The first case that we're going to do is we're going to base 16,000 an acre. Now, I know in the John Berta Wall Street Reporter, they cited 5 to 10 an acre. There's a few things that this article came before. One was the Biden laws that say no drilling on public lands. The other one is the price of oil is significantly higher. Let's not worry about the Biden equation and let's focus on the price of oil. So oil today, if you compare the average cost of oil in 2019, which was like $56 a barrel, to today's prices, that's a 60% increase, like 56 to like 90, 88, 90. That's like a 60% increase. So we're going to take 10K and increase it 60%. So I get 16,000 per acre. That doesn't take into account Biden's pressures. That's just based on oil itself to be conservative because bears like that. So at 16K an acre and 134,000 acres, you multiply the two together, that is a $2.144 billion sale. Okay? It's $2.144 billion. Now, Torchlight, this is also assuming that university lands doesn't sell their cut. McCabe keeps his royalties. The royalty holders keep their royalties. So that 25% remains to the royalty holders. This is just outside of that. But, okay, Torchlight gets 66.5% of that sale. That's if the royalty holders keep their royalties, if they want in on this. Torchlight then gets $1.25760 billion. Let's take out tax. Let's say that this was taxable. If you multiply the tax, take out the tax rate, 21% corporate tax, you're left with 1.12635. $1.126350400 billion. And now we're going to take out that holdback dividend. And you're left with $1.013175360 billion. And now we're going to divide that by 165 million outstanding shares. $6.14 a share. Not bad. That certainly is a lot more than 1 to 3. So we're going to say this at $16K. This is the tax rate. If you do the same equation, but you take out, there's no corporate tax. It's a non-taxable event. It's going to be slightly higher. You're going to get $7.77 a share. Tax, $6.14, no tax, $7.7. Let's repeat that same equation, but we'll go even lower at $10K. Because Bear's like, yeah, Bear just said $10K, 3 years ago. Okay, $10K. If you take out tax, it comes to $3.83 a share. It's still more than $3. Substantially more because $3 is pretty low. If you have a non-taxable event, it's $4.86. For a non-taxable event. So, that whole 1 to 3 argument. Now, why do I think this is ridiculous? There's estimates on the oil, but keep in mind that the people who made these estimates would not risk an illustrious 40-year career on something that was hokey or false. If they say, yeah, that's how much oil I estimate to be there, here's the range, and then NextBridge comes along with their team, and then they say, hey, this is, $3.2 billion. Now, the $3.7 billion was a median of BOE, which is barrel oil equivalent, which is oil plus gas. NextBridge site said 3.2 BBL, which is just oil, which means that there's, that median 3.7 is a bit higher now. But we'll go with 3.2, just on oil, not including gas. At $16K an acre, it's 67 cents a barrel is what you're paying. At 10K an acre, you are paying 41 cents a barrel. Remember what I said, that $1 divvy has to be like 20 cents a barrel? Yeah, I wasn't joking. So find me a land deal, guys, that pays this much for oil in the ground right now in America on private lands. Find me where I can get this. Remember, go to any oil company and say, hey, you got some undeveloped land. I will pay you 41 cents per barrel of oil in the ground for your rights on that land. They'll tell you kindly but firmly to leave. Okay, so that's the math. People wanted me to go over bear cases, and there's some bear math. They like to cite that Berta Wall Street Reporter. I don't see it getting this low. Do you? 67 cents a barrel, 41 cents a barrel. Certain people will try to bedazzle their way and cite bankruptcy sources. But this is a different situation. There's no bankruptcy involved. There's no immediate liquidation or else, right? Torchlight wasn't really a production company. They just sat on the oil. They don't have any debt. They didn't go bankrupt. They don't have any debt. They cleared their debt a year ago, actually. They cleared their debt a year ago when they did an offering, and it raised up their shares to 145 million. This is before the 165 million that came in June. But it raised up the shares to 145 million, and it cleared their debt. And also gave them about $5 million for operating the Ore Grande and doing some drilling. So yeah, the companies that wind up selling for pennies like this are going bankrupt. Remember, we want maximum value. We know how much our assets are worth. Again, I'm staying with my estimate of 29 to 46. 29 to 46, this accounts for some extraneous variables, or if there happens to be an oil conversion rate. If the dividend's more than $46, you will not hear me complain. I will not complain. I will not be upset. I will be happy about that problem if the dividend's more than $46. Also, keep an eye out for SEC filings. So far, I have not seen a single SEC filing about the spinout. Have you? I haven't seen anything. No 8K, no Form 10, no 1012B, none of that. If you find an SEC filing about Meta, Oil Co., let me know. But, you know, as Pen explained to Crackers, poor Crackers couldn't find any SEC filings. Crackers, could you find any SEC filings? No. Crackers could not find any SEC filings. And Pen explained that there are a multitude of reasons where companies don't even have to file with the SEC. One of them would be a subsidiary followed by an immediate acquisition by another company. Isn't that right, Crackers? It's been a long and arduous wait. And like I said, the closer we get, the more the bears are going to come out. So, you know, it's good to be prepared. Feel free to watch MMTLP Tackling the FUD. I actually get quite a few questions, which are immediately answered by that video. So if you haven't seen MMTLP Tackling the FUD, I highly suggest check it out. I'll try and put the link in below. But now we know that the bear math that they use, again, the price per barrel, try and find a sale that has that utilizes that particular price per barrel. That, you know, I wouldn't say, to be fair, one that isn't like dire bankruptcy, oh no, we have to pay our creditors type of situation. Which a lot of people who like to spread FUD will tell you about. Oh no, they'll cite a different case where the same company sold their big asset for pennies on the dollar. Well, yes, that company was facing bankruptcy, and there was creditors knocking at their door, probably with some hired goons. Torchlight is in a much different situation. It's to our advantage right now. We know how much our assets are worth. We want maximum value. I will see you guys later. Goodbye.